Been lying on the sand for 48 hours, but he did not dare to move a single inch, because his back is a 10,000 feet of cliff. If he is not careful, he will be broken into pieces. He gripped the ground with all his might, but the fine yellow sand and cannot bear the weight of the man. The whole man slid towards the cliff. In a desperate situation, he had to use his face as a brake. This is barely stopping. Just then, his girlfriend called. The man clutched the ground with his right hand, with his face pressed against the sand slope. His left hand unzipped and reached into his backpack. He was about to succeed, but the next second, he finally stopped at the edge of the cliff. Now he didn't dare to move at all, because behind him were sharp rocks. Another 2 hours passed. By now the man was so scared that his arms and legs were weak. It had broken him. The man looked down at the waves. His mouth began to mumble. So he was calculating the cycle of the waves lapping at the shore. If he could use the waves to fall into the water, there is still a chance of escape. If he failed to land on the rocks, he will be broken into pieces. With the completion of the second reading, the man hurriedly released his hand. He successfully fell into the water, but because of the impact was too strong, the weight still hit the rock. He put up with the pain, struggled to the surface of the water, but the real test was just beginning. He struggled to climb up a scorched rock. When he recovered, he began to check his body. Luckily, there was only a cut on his hand. There is no serious injury, but when he stood up and just took a step, fell down with a click. His head hit the rock directly. When he woke up again, he found that his spine was misaligned. His legs had lost consciousness. He fought through the pain. He quickly retrieved his phone from his bag, but the phone had been severely waterlogged. The screen could not be opened. Other than that, there was only a book, which was useless. He could only shout for help, but there was nothing but the sound of the waves. In front of him was a steep vertical cliff. Behind him was an endless ocean. There was nothing to do. He had to take off his clothes. First, simply treat the wound. He lay down on the rock, looking at the planes flying overhead. At that moment, his heart was desperate. To save his strength, the man lay on the rock and slowly fell asleep. When he woke up again, he calmed down. It is not a good idea to keep going on like this. He began to look around. It was harder to climb the cliff than to climb the sky. Then he found an island in the distance. This is the only hope for survival. So he put on his bag and jumped into the water. Will he be rescued or not? Translated with www.deeple.com. Translator, free version.